Government set on Census. UBS Loan Inquiry spending queried. And NCDC working on improving city waste plans. This is National EMTV News with Meriba Tulo.
A very good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is National EMTV News. The national census is expected to be conducted this year. Member for Kagwa-Erave, Wesley Raminai, asked the Prime Minister in Parliament today on what exactly the government would prioritise, either the National Identification Programme or the census. The Prime Minister admitting that there are isolated programmes running when it should be a unified approach in data collection. Prime Minister Marape also stating that the national census will be prioritised this year as its numbers will allow government departments to plan ahead.
One way we can take back PNG is to make sure that real people are voting come 22 elections.
Kagwa-Erave MP Wesley Raminai asking the Prime Minister to clarify the government's intention.
So again, my question is simple. Are we going to use NID system, which is close to accuracy? Or are we going to use the national census and use the same system that we've been using before? Thank you, Thomas.
In 2013, the O'Neill Abel government funded the 200 million Kina National Identity Program in the hope that citizens would be registered and the same information would be used for the national census. Today, only less than 1 million people have been registered and the NID program continues to struggle. Prime Minister James Marape stating the census will be a priority.
Mental foundational basis is a very good census that we will do this year. And the Planning Minister knows what he's doing. We will partner all our districts to ensure we deliver a good, highest standard population census that we will secure today. And we get NID to piggyback on this data. We get Electoral Commission to piggyback on this data. We don't need to spend another 200 million Kina to run another population event in 2022 for the purpose of having common roll updates that can be easily interfaced between our data we have at National Statistics and the data requirements of Electoral Commission.
PM Marape stating there were too many isolated programs that should be running together, as population numbers and statistics are key for development plans.
National census of the highest standard and with the highest integrity of the data that will be secured in the census process. Having good population data will give us government the necessary tools to plan better for budgets and plan for development and plan for other events that will unfold, including events like NID and positioning ourselves for a better data that can be migrated into election data.
Adelaide Sirokskari, National EMTV News.
Prime Minister James Marape says police and other law enforcement agencies have the independent authority to conduct investigations into findings produced by the Ombudsman Commission on the borrowing of the $1.2 billion UBS loan. The Prime Minister was responding to concerns raised by the opposition on the millions of Kina committed by his government to fund the Commission of Inquiry.
The Commission of Inquiry into the UBS loan was an undertaking by the Marape-led government in July 2019. A public hearing led by Chairman of the Commission, Sir Salamo India, held on 27th January, laid out the 6 stages the inquiry will cover before a report is concluded and delivered to the Prime Minister. The Commission has since requested for an additional 27 million Kina funding that is needed to bring in overseas barristers to assist the Commission. However, the opposition is now questioning why the government is spending more money to establish findings that have already been produced by a report from the Ombudsman Commission.
27 million Kina. That has been increased by 1 million Kina more, I'm told. My questions are, firstly, can the Prime Minister explain why an expensive commission of inquiry is necessary when we already have a report on the UBS loan by the Ombudsman Commission.
The UBS saga began in 2014 when the then O'Neill-led government borrowed 1.2 billion Australian dollar loan from a Jewish bank.
It goes far beyond this, Mr. Acting Speaker. This country has forever been used as a rubber stamp by people concocting public policies outside of the government process and systems. That's why the inquiry is set up. What is 28 million kina against a backdrop of PNG losing 3 billion kina in the process? That money was lost, and I apologize to the nation. At the time, I was quite an advocate for the procurement.
The loan was to purchase 1.4 million worth of shares from Oil Search Limited. The inquiry, when initiated, was supposed to include all parties involved in the borrowing of the UBS loan.
The story concocted was so glamorous. Price of Oil Search said we'll appreciate. We must participate in this PNG premier blue chip company that will add value to already 19 point. How much percent share we already have in PNG LNG because such and such. Well, that was the hypothesis at the time. Today, the inquiry will establish if those proponents of the UBS transaction come to the table with clean hands.
As explained by Prime Minister Marape, it would include Oil Search Limited, government secretaries, and departmental heads, including former Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and James Marape, who was then Finance Minister.
We want to recruit the best forensic auditors, the best investigators in Australia, investigators in Singapore, investigators elsewhere, to establish whether that transaction was above board and there is no Papua New Guinean beneficiaries, individual or corporate. There is no conglomerate beneficiaries circumventing the process of government to their own gain. So this thing goes beyond what you and me see.
Meanwhile, the inquiry has been adjourned until the 28th of this month.
And against personal reputation, because I am also implicated by UBS report, I'm willing to testify what role I played in the context of greater scheme of things and what caused Papua New Guinea citizens to lose 3 billion kina, money that is meant to, in fact, now. That same type of money you're looking to pay away into Papua LNG today. Yet, Oil Search didn't pay their way into Papua LNG. They used that money to have access into Papua LNG. That's another clue I'm giving you. I have more up my sleeves, Mr. Speaker, and I want this. I give total support to this inquiry to be completed.
Thekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
Still in Parliament, Northern Governor Gary Jufa questioned Higher Education Minister Nick Kuman on why the former University of Natural Resource and Environment campus in Oro has been closed since 2014. Minister Kuman said the college needed rehabilitation of its facility as the current standards were not suitable for students. The minister also stated that the government was looking at combining all lower institution colleges across the country into one institution.
Legislations following the NCDC in 2017 to group all the lower higher education institutions into one institution. And during the course of this sitting or April sitting, I will be bringing amendments to the House to pass the bill. So in that process, I want to tell the Parliament that when the higher education institutions and the universities all under one umbrella, we want to see that we'll have to do a lot of work, including the UNRE and the two agricultural colleges, given the importance of the Marape Steven governments towards agriculture. We need to train a lot more extension officers right throughout the country, and to make sure that the policy driven towards growing the economy at the provincial and and the district level must be supported. And this institution in particular is really important. This year, unfortunately, there's some appropriation being given in 2019 that I'm aware of, but those monies were not been warranted through, so we lost that money. But this year, we had some level of funding coming through, and I'll make sure some of those monies are used to continue to rehabilitate the facility in Oro.
This is National MTV News. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Welcome back to National MTV News. Mount Hagen Senior Resident Judge Justice Kenneth Frank says the Mount Hagen National and Supreme Court are prepared to use a new court system that was recently introduced. Integrated Criminal Case System Database, or ICCSD, is a system that will fast-track criminal matters only. It will enable the courts to track down suspects who are on wait court and will capture every individual involved in a criminal case to fast-track the case and have it completed. All criminal cases will be registered and tracked from appearing from their first mention until their conviction or dismissal of their case. The system is being currently used in Port Moresby, Lae and a few other centres in the country. Justice Frank says his staff in Mount Hagen have undergone several training to use the new system, and this will help reduce criminal matters. A company vehicle loaded with store goods which was reported stolen in Port Moresby has been recovered at Gerehu Stage 5 by members of the NCD Sector Patrol Unit. The vehicle, carrying frozen goods and cartons of eggs, was reported stolen yesterday afternoon at Waikele near the Gerehu roundabout. Members of the Sector Patrol Unit were contacted and, with the help of residents, recovered the vehicle within 30 minutes. One man has since been arrested in relation to this crime. Theodist Stationery, in partnership with software company HP, has launched the HP Planet program. The program, aimed at protecting the environment and reducing the amount of plastics in the ocean and on land. NCD Governor Pos Pakop, when launching the program, said it is everyone's responsibility to help keep the environment clean.
The HP Planet program is part of HP's corporate and social responsibility to ensure they operate in a sustainable manner. Through this program, used HP toner cartridges will be collected, packed and sent to Australia for recycling. Theodist Stationery, as a partner, will be collecting used HP cartridges in the country.
That's a big part for HP and for partnering with us and enabling this opportunity. So I think it's really fantastic. We live in an area where there is a lot of plastic, like the Governor was saying, and we need to try and be more sustainable and responsible in that area.
According to Theodist Business Development Manager Ryan Pinney, recycling bins will be placed in Theodist outlets in the city. He said customers can drop empty cartridges in the bins to help in this fight to save the planet from plastic pollution.
What you have to do is drop it off to us and we do all the work. So there's this great opportunity for you to become quite easily sustainable in this area, and we're trying to help you with that. So
the HP Planet program was first launched in 1987, which have seen more HP cartridges being recycled over the years. For PNG, this is the first of its kind. Governor Pakop, in thanking HP and Theodist for this initiative, said plastic pollution is a global challenge that needs to be addressed.
And as everybody knows, all your clients here, everybody lives in Port Moresby. Managing waste in Port Moresby, it's a challenge. In the entire country too, it's equally a challenge. And of course, globally as well, it's a challenge.
The governor also highlighted plans to address waste pollution in the city. He challenged all government agencies and business houses to work together to help keep the city clean.
So just disposing of the waste in our city is a very big challenge. It costs a lot of money too. And the city cannot be a greater city, a better city, unless we all put all our effort into finding solutions.
Rayon Lakingu, National MTV News.
The National Capital District Commission is putting in place a waste management system to help reduce the impacts of waste in the city. NCD Governor Pos Pakop made this announcement when launching the HP Planet program overnight. The governor said the goal is to convert all waste into usable products to help save the planet.
When launching the HP Planet program, the governor highlighted NCD's plans for waste management in the city. He said their waste management strategy is to reuse, renew and recycle, and there are plans in place to improve the Baroni Dam facilities. He said they are working together with JICA to have systems in place to help reduce the impacts of waste products on the environment.
Our goal for waste in our city is to convert all the waste into usable, renewable resources.
According to the governor, over 16 million kina has been spent on this waste management exercise over the last 4 years. But despite all awareness programs for a clean and healthy environment, city residents are still ignorant. He challenged all residents to be socially and environmentally responsible.
Take this opportunity to appeal to everyone in the city, individuals, corporates, government departments, not to see what we throw out or what we think is waste to be waste, but we must see how we can convert whatever we throw out as resources that can be used, can be recycled, can be renewed and used in different ways.
The governor further stressed on the government's plan to ban the use of plastics in the country, saying that the ban on plastics will be effective starting next month.
31st of January this year was going to be the day in which at last it will happen. It's been extended another 41 days because the plastic manufacturers, they come up with another excuse again. We have imported a lot of raw materials, so give us time to dispose of it. So maybe around the 2nd of March, we might have the ban finally at last in place.
In an effort to combat plastic pollution and to save the environment, HP, together with its partners in the country, has launched the HP Planet program aimed at recycling all empty toner cartridges. In the country, HP partners Theody Stationery and Daytech will be collecting empty cartridges and send them overseas for recycling. Theody's business development manager Ryan Pinney said the initiative is part of their social and corporate responsibility to help achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Your program that you have where you focus on a number of SDGs which help Papua New Guineans and the communities come together to be better people, better communities, and that's something that's very strong, and that's something that I'm very passionate about.
According to Pinney, their aim is to send over 20 containers of cartridges by the end of this year. And there are also plans to partner with other organizations in this program to help fight against plastic pollution.
We hope that we can send back a 20-foot container load every 3 months back to HP and let them deal with recycling and reusing. So hopefully we get to partner with you more and see how we go in the future.
Rayon Lakingu, National MTV News.
The National Fisheries Authority, under its corporate and social responsibility, presented a vehicle to the Kabum district this week. Fisheries Minister Dr. Lino Tom said the ministry has been helping a lot of institutions. However, they've slowed down on doing this due to funding constraints. Before handing over the keys to the vehicle, Dr. Lino Tom acknowledged the efforts of former Fisheries Minister and Kabum MP Patrick Basa. He added that the vehicle would be used as an ambulance to support health services in his district. Basa said the ambulance would be of great help because they are currently building the Kabum District Hospital. You're watching National MTV News. We take a short break. When we return, we'll bring you stories making headlines overseas.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. We begin with football, and Galaxy FC from Vanuatu were the first team to arrive for the OFC Champions League. Galaxy FC have been competing in Vanuatu's semi-professional competition for the past 6 years. The club has enjoyed a quick rise to the top after winning the second division in 2014-15, the first division in 2017-2018, and the top division in the 2018-19 season. They will have their first training session in Port Moresby tomorrow and play their first match this Sunday at 12 p.m. The other two teams from New Caledonia and New Zealand will arrive tomorrow. The national boxing team is currently preparing to attend the 2020 Olympic qualifiers in Jordan. PNG will be represented by 4 athletes. The team of 4 are training at the Tarama Aquatic Centre, assisted by PNG High Performance. Godwin Eki reports.
According to national coach Maketo, the upcoming tournament in Jordan is crucial as it is a qualifier for the 2020 Olympics. All 4 athletes who will be representing PNG are gold and silver medalists from the recent Pacific Games in Samoa.
Our preparation now, our focus now is attending this Olympic qualifying in Jordan.
Keto says today's training is all about getting little techniques right. Adding to that, he says it is important for athletes to remember well what they learn at training and use that once they step into the ring at the qualifiers.
John Ume is the current Pacific Games gold medalist. Jamie Cheng, silver medalist in the Pacific Games. And Ata Ray from Manus is the 91 kg silver medalist in the Pacific Games, and also the only female boxer is Flora Loga.
Pacific Games silver medalist Ata Ray is fighting in the 91 kg division. He says training is going well and he is looking forward to the event.
I'm in January we train hard 1 month lo Manus. Now I'm joining team lo mostly lo next 1 month training can lo mostly lo February.
Pacific Games gold medalist and the only female athlete in the team, Flora Loga, says she's also attending the qualifiers and is looking forward to winning gold at this meet.
I'm so excited that I'm traveling with my boys because I'm the only female, so I'm just thinking positive.
What category are you fighting?
I'm fighting 57 kg and I'm looking forward to get gold. Not silver, not bronze, but gold.
Coach Keto says there are also other international meets before June and July where athletes can also use to qualify for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
The Port Moresby Rugby League Association is calling for clubs to fill an equal number of women's teams as the men's teams this season. This comes as the recently launched league competition plans to start its season proper in April.
The newly formed association met with interested teams in its first meeting. The word from the league's administration was simple: file in women's teams, not only the men's.
Gender equality, so we want in the youth, in the settlements, there's a number of girls and the boys. So gender equality is very much important and it's emphasized very much in the world and in the country, which we want to take that on board in any sport. So.
The Port Moresby North East Rugby League Association Operations Manager Simon Maima told the clubs they have to abide by the laws as the competition is affiliated to the PNG RFL.
It's a competition. A competition managed and run and governed by a league. So we have to have a proper statistics, we have the proper player profile, and you will have your record number before you play. That record number will send to PNG RFL for recognitions and all these things. So it's a league.
The association aims to begin its pre-season soon.
Pre-season will start on the 29th. So the deadline for the affiliation and registration, we are assuming, I am proposing it to be on the 27th of March. A week before the competition starts.
16 teams are expected to participate in the 2020 season. Bradley Valenaki, National EMTV Sports.
Don't go anywhere, we'll have more of Trukai Sports when we return.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. National representatives from various sports today held a workshop with youth in NCD. The workshop focused on Olympic values and the opportunities that come through sport. It was held at the Aquatic Centre to a group of youth who are into boxing, yoga, dancing and other social activities.
A group of Team PNG athletes today held a very important workshop with a group of young youth from suburbs around Port Moresby to impart messages and other life skills programs. Elite athletes from boxing, basketball, weightlifting, powerlifting and other sporting codes took time to share their past experiences through sport. Activities included group sessions, brainstorming on different topics, drama and PowerPoint presentations. Team PNG Olympic Values Coordinator Milton says the workshop is very important for the upcoming sportsmen and women or youth who are doing nothing to come out from their comfort zones or bad habits and change for the better.
So we have our Team PNG Hero athletes all in red here to talk about the Olympic values, about excellence, friendship and respect, and most importantly values in sport and what the values in sport could bring to young people. And we're happy to be here today with our friends from the Active City Life program, with our youths from all over NCD, from different areas of NCD. They're here to learn about yoga, acrobats, different programs that they have, but they decided to also invite us to just talk about the values in sport, but most importantly the Olympic values and how these values can help young people.
These youth are into various social events such as street dancing, boxing, hip-hop, yoga activities, drama and more. Their coordinator says today's program has brought together people who were into illegal activities. After today's session, they have learned to respect others and they have changed for the better. And elite PNG weightlifter says the PNG Olympic Values program has really helped her to be open and speak freely with confidence. She says now she is happy to talk to youths and tell her story of how she started.
So going through schools and like communities, doing the awareness and like getting feedbacks from them and how they like do role plays and like talk about their lifestyles. It really motivates us and help us to like go out more and do more awareness about the Olympic values.
Godwin Eki, National MTV Sports.
We go for a final break. When we come back, a look at the weather for the next 24 hours.
True Kai Sport. True Kai Sports.
And that's the way it is today, Wednesday, the 12th of February 2020. On behalf of the National MTV News team, pleasant viewing. Good night.